Alright, this is attempt number 3 of making this. Friday is my last day in the rehab. I called my father to try to get him to get the Mercedes back in Connecticut so I have a vehicle that I fit in that I can be transported to and from places. And apparently, his self-centered ego decided that he didn't like how I was saying things and decided to hang up and then wouldn't pick up the phone when I called him back. So I left a voicemail telling him if he wants to be that way, he will never talk to me again. Um, I'm very stressed out. Their house in Valentine, like, they chose to live in Claremont throughout this whole ordeal. They have a house in Valentine still. Yes, it's being foreclosed on, and probably before the end of the year, they will not be able to get in it. And that means my Ranger and my tools and everything, I need to get out of there, but I have a stroke and I can't do with that. Um, so he actively chose to live 4 hours away from where his son is being hospitalized and has visited me a total of twice. That was once in Hartford and once in Yale. He hasn't even come to visit me since I've been put in the Manchester rehab. Um, my Uncle John and Debbie and Chuck have visited me multiple times, and they have very much been lifting my spirits. But like I am extremely stressed, and it's killing me. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need a vehicle, and we have a perfectly functioning vehicle that's in New Hampshire, and my mom can't even follow him down Connecticut, and he's saying that my transmission is fucked, and I know that's not true, and because I drove it all over the place this summer rather. Matter of fact, the Washington County Fairgrounds, I was going from Wilmette to Washington County, and then on Sunday I went to Springfield, Mass, down to Washington County. Also, like I put 500 miles on that car in a week, and I didn't have any problems with the transmission. I didn't have any problems with anything. So he's just making up excuses, and I'm sick and tired of being lied to. And apparently he doesn't even care. He'd rather not be a part of my life, apparently. And he chose that, so I have to move on. And I guess probably no contact. Um, if anybody can get a hold of my father and work out a way that somebody else can bring the Mercedes down this weekend for the banquet, that'd be amazing. But I don't expect anybody else to. This is not your monkey, not your circus. Like this is my issue. Um, we're also looking for if anybody has a hospital bed that electronically raises up and down, not cranks. Um, Preferably long or a little bit wider than the normal width. That would be amazing. That I could borrow. Eventually, I'm not going to need it, and I can go back with to you. Um, I just don't know. I should be excited to go home. I've been very much excited to go home, but I'm very stressed because I don't. The people that I expected to help chose completely and utterly to ruin any relationship that we might have had going forward. And his fragile ego doesn't like when I raise my voice. Well, I just had a fucking stroke. He chose me not to be here. September 2nd was when I had a stroke. It almost is 3 months now. I have seen him probably a total of an hour and a half since I had a stroke. He's been in the hospital twice. He stayed a half hour the first time. And, like, I don't care if it's hard for you to look at me. I needed my parents. I needed the encouragement. But who am I to expect that? They never have been encouraging or anything. Hell, I broke my collarbone and I had to sit there with it broken for 4 hours before they take me to the hospital because my mom wanted to eat turkey dinner at the campground. Mate, I had never been a priority to them. I remember one of the Christmases before Brian went no contact that Kira, Otto, and Mia were at their house, at my parents' house for Christmas, and everybody got a bunch of shit. And if Audra didn't pack me Christmas presents to take with me to open, I wouldn't have opened anything. Because she wasn't there, she went to her parents' house for that Christmas. If it wasn't for Audra, I wouldn't have pushed to get healthy again. Because there's nothing out there that actually cares. All right, guys. That's all I got.